Just a very brief comment. Today's hearing, we dealt with really procedural matters, dealing with the initial charges in this case. We expect that there will be more charges coming. We may be back here tomorrow to also postpone that matter until September 30th at 1 o'clock. We understand the public's concerns in this case. We understand the police concerns. We understand sort of the circumstances of this matter. Everybody agrees that there are significant, profound, and substantial mental health issues, and that's where the case stands.
Why do you want to delay? What's the purpose? September?
As the police have indicated, and I think probably everyone would agree, there is a substantial history of mental illness in this case that requires us to, as attorneys, to make sure that there is an evaluation that would be appropriate as to Ms. Hagel's mental state.
Are you not also concerned for the safety of the kids and want her to help in any way she can?
I can't comment on those things.
Have you talked to her at all, Counselor?
I can't comment on any of those things.
How big of a factor do you believe her mental competency is?
I can't. This is very early in the case. She was arrested on Friday evening, and though there are interests in getting things resolved quickly, it's very early in the case. We can't comment on any of that stuff. We represent Catherine Hagel. She is our client. Our obligations run to her. She is our client.
Are you not also though concerned for the safety of the kids?
Can't comment on those things. Okay?
So you're going to try to see her today, Mr. Carlson?
Our plan is to see her. We saw her Friday evening. We saw her Saturday, and we saw her yesterday, and our plan is to go see her today.
Just from the
Thank you.
mechanics of this, this hearing is at the end of the month. Is it likely she'll be held somewhere in a facility until then?
Right now, until that date, she is going to be held at the Montgomery County Correctional Facility, unless something changes in the meantime, which we can't foresee.
Can you just clarify which of the charges pending?
Right, as of today, there are the 2 neglect charges and an obstruction of justice charge, I believe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. We just left the courtroom of Judge Margaret Schweitzer, who continued the bond review for Catherine Hagel to September the 30th. At that time, Ms. Hagel will be fully arraigned on 2 charges, a child neglect charge that carries 5 years imprisonment, and a obstruction of justice charge, which has a common law penalty which is not limited by statute. I will tell you, at that time, there will be a 3rd charge, which has to do with parental abduction. Standing next to me, immediately to my right, is Troy Turner. Mr. Turner is the father of the 2 children. He is the father of Jacob, age 2, and the father of Sarah, age 3. Those 2 children are the children that are subject to the 2 charges that were here today, and the 3rd charge that is in the process of being added. The commissioner has already accepted that charge. We attempted to expedite the paperwork to get it here today. That could not be done. I would indicate that we join with the police department in urging all members of the public that have any information about the whereabouts of these children to contact the police to follow their direction relative to treating the crime scene or the scene as they find it. And with that, I do want to turn, I've asked Mr. Turner if he wished to make a statement at this time to the public regarding his children and the charges that we are here today in court on. He indicated he did, so I want to introduce Mr. Turner at this time.
I just basically want to thank the community and everyone who's come out to help us, all the volunteers who've been helping me search and continue to do so. Later on this evening, we're going to be meeting up again in the same parking lot we've been doing in Germantown, probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock. We'll have everybody together. And anyone who knows anything, please just call the police, call 9 emergency numbers if you have a tip. Call 911 if you see the kids. If you are someone out there who has the kids or know someone who's helping them, drop them off at a hospital, a library, or fire department, anything. I don't care who you are. I don't want to know who you are. Just drop them off, give me my kids back, and everything's cool. Thank you guys for everything who are out here now. Thank everybody for their prayers, and we're going to find my children.
Thank you. Do we have a quick question?
Just stay for a second.
Can you stick around?
Yes, stay for a second.
Sure.
Is there any concern on your part that by delaying any kind of future court hearing or appearance until the end of the month, that gets in the way of what's most important is finding these kids?
Obviously, our concern as time passes becomes more grave, and obvious as I know, Mr. Turner and I's primary objective is to try to find these children safe, if that is still possible. I do have some concerns along those lines. I am hopeful that if we can expedite some of the psychiatric aspects of this case, potentially that will give us some additional leads that we don't have at this point in time.
Mr. Turner, did you hear the police's press conference earlier today?
Pardon?
Did you hear the police's press conference earlier today?
No, I missed some of it. I got caught up on it. Some of it was, I guess, had to do with it switching parts of it to a murder investigation or something like that. Is that what you're talking about, that part? Yeah, to me that wasn't news. I mean, whenever you're looking through woods with dogs, you're not looking for someone you think is alive, so they've probably been doing that for a couple of days, which they're supposed to do that. Their job is to look at what they believe to be possibilities and eliminate them or find them. My job is to believe my children are fine and go find them, and we're both doing our job.
Troy, in the court documents, it talks about a friend named Aaron. Is that a name you've ever heard before?
Who?
Name Aaron. Have you ever heard the name Aaron?
Oh, yes. Yeah, she, I mean, from her, she said, that's what she said to me, part of it. Earlier I'd said that I wasn't going to say name because I didn't want people running around questioning somebody with just a name. I don't know if there is an Aaron at all. I mean, the part that I believe is probably true is she probably did drop him off with someone. She's not going to tell us who, though, I don't believe, so. Because, like I've said before, she has an altered view of reality when she's on her medication, and she probably believes she's protecting them. The one thing that, I want to tell everyone, though, is just be vigilant. Just look out for them. One of the things I said earlier, and I'll repeat this because I think it's important, is don't look at their hair color. Don't look at the style of hair. If you saw her in there, her hair's been cut in half, in size. So look at the kids' facial features, things that won't change, like their eyes, their smiles, things like that. So that way you can recognize the actual children. If you see something, let me see the number real quick. Call the police or call 240-773-5070. If you actually see the kids, then call 911, get the police there as quickly as possible. But definitely whenever you're seeing our flyers that we're passing on that we're going to continue to do because I truly believe they're out there and I'm going to find my children, then pay attention to their faces.
I asked John one more question. I asked you some Chief Danger earlier today. Is it frustrating because they were getting Catherine help? She was getting help, and yet she was able to get back and have, the ability to be with her children alone. When families seek mental health care for people they care about, and it's still bad things can possibly happen.
Well, I am not going to speak to this immediate case. I will tell you about this has been an issue that I've been concerned about, that I've talked to the press about, is the increased number of cases where we see the intersection of the criminal justice system and mental health issues. I think families struggle throughout this county with mental health challenges. Again, I'm not speaking directly to this case, but I know that even in our local jail, and I've talked about this number, last year 28% of the individuals who came to our local county jail needed immediate psychiatric intervention. This is a huge community problem. This is a terrible situation in which we are confronted with those same psychiatric issues again. It's something we need as a community to deal with, not only in this individual case, but in a much broader spectrum. There's an awful lot of people out in the community that are in our jails that have mainly mental health issues. Thank you very much.
Talk about those charges, the parental abduction.
There are 2 counts of parental abduction have been filed. Mr. Turner made a demand. If you're familiar with the law, the reason there was a delay in bringing those charges in a parental kidnapping situation, you must make a demand. You must wait 48 hours. Mr. Turner made that demand under police supervision several days ago, and then after the 48 hours passed, the documents that were then prepared, filed with the commissioner, we just could not expedite them to get them before this judge today at 1 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.